Yo. Hello. 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 What is up? Sound is too loud. Wait. Let me turn it down. It's too loud. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Wait a minute. Okay. So I guess I'll be playing Wayfarer. I'm bad at R's. I'm so sorry. Wayfarer. Ferrer. Wayfarer. Wayfarer. Er. You know the drill. I'm just gonna read for the entire game, I guess. Well, not unless someone actually goes into the chat, which I think it will happen today because it's weekdays and people are in school. They can't afford to watch this. Anyways, oh yeah, yes, it's rated MA 17. I don't know what that means. Medieval violence, pictures of blood, gore, death. Is this fine? Didn't really research enough this game. I mean, I did didn't do any research at all. Just downloaded it. Oh. Just wanna read and do nothing else, just so I can keep talking. You know? Let's just go. Yeah. Saving. No idea anything about this game. Forwards player special. Special cycles up the player through the dialogue or question loops. Ends a dialogue or question loop early. Approval and rapport. Indicates companion approval and friendship. Indicates faction rapport. Okay. Sexual desire, romance but no polyamorous, sexual desire but no romance. Ends a relationship. Okay. I don't really know if I'll ever use that. Timed. Why is there? I don't think. In certain moments, actions are timed. Letting the timer run out will result in a unique outcome not listed in the available choices. Timed choices can be disabled in the settings. Instead of the timer bar, an abstain label indicates the unique option. Before you begin the game, you will choose your character's gender, pronouns, ancestry, and appearance. Further customization of character will take place during the prologue. Okay, let's create our character. Male. I don't know. You see him for the begins. There are 5 humanoid species who inhabit the world. Each ancestry has its own qualities and attributes that will affect the course of your journey. Some unlock unique appearance options. Pick on a card. Okay. We have human, dwarven, elven, Melusine, and Ada. I don't know how to pronounce that. Human. What's a human? Humans are among the most common peoples of the world, thought to have originated on the continent of Resania. They now inhabit all regions of the world, with the exception of Kalanta. Though they have shorter lifespans compared to dwarves, elves, and Melusine, they are characterized by their tenacity, diversity, and sheer will to survive. Human attribute lost in the crowd. As a human, you are but one of many. You don't stand out, particularly in the urban areas where human populations are high. You will have we have the alternative options for escaping high stakes scenarios, and will have an easy time conducting your business anonymously. And let's check the dwarven. Dwarves think wait lang. My opinion for human. I think this one is good if you want, safer route. I think in doing stuff. By the way, the sound, the background sound, it's from Lud and Schlatt's channel. No copyright. Something music. Music Emporium. Lud and Schlatt's Music Emporium. This game doesn't have any music, so I just, you know, played one. The background, so it's not boring. Dwarven. Dwarves are among the most common peoples in the world. Thought to have originated on the continent Vergelnar around the same time as humans. Dwarves now live in the most areas of the world with the exception of Kalanta. Wait, let me... Wait. No one lives in Kalanta. They are characterized by their natural physical strength and endurance, with the exception of their short statures and long lifespan, typically reaching around 300 years. They closely resemble humans. Dwarven attributes: sturdy constitution. As a dwarf, you have inherited a strong resistance to most poisons, both natural and artificial. You cannot be affected by the poison ailment, and it will take you longer to become afflicted by the intoxicated ailment. Physical strength and endurance. When will we need the poison resistance though? Or the intoxication resistance? I don't know much about this game. I mean, I don't know anything about this game, so I really don't know if that's actually an advantage that will greatly impact our game. Because I feel like humans and dwarves, since they describe it like they're similar in appearance, so maybe doesn't, like, they don't get as much discrimination or whatever when it comes to race. I don't know. Elves live in all regions of the world as descendants of the Elenides. Elves share a common, albeit ancient, ancestry with Melusine and Aida. Like all Elenides, they have excellent senses and can see in the dark. Their lifespans usually reach between, okay, my screen went dark, between 180 and 200 years. With the exception of their pointed ears, they closely resemble humans. Okay, so they also look like humans. Elven attribute: night vision. As an elf, you have inherited the ability to see in the dark. You will automatically pass all perception checks that occur at night. So this is an actual advantage. Like, if it's dark, we can observe stuff. We can see stuff. Next, Melusine. What's a Melusine? I can probably. What is that? I can't quite see what it looks like. I can't visualize what it is. Can we zoom in? No. Melusine are rare species of aquatic humanoids, tracing their ancestry back to the Elenides. They are distantly related to elves in Ada, historically suspicious of outsiders. Many Melusine do not surface from the watery depths they call home, preferring instead to remain among their own kind when on the surface. They are recognizable by their pointed ears, fangs, and their brightly colored skin, hair, and eyes. They have incredibly long lifespans and live for many centuries. As a man of mixed human and Melusine percentage, You are keenly mixed human, Melusine, or parentage. If I'm a Melusine, I am a half Melusine and not a whole Melusine. Keenly aware of your heritage. So you cannot live underwater like your Melusine relative. So I'm half Melusine if I choose Melusine, since I'm not really like living underwater. So you cannot live underwater like your Melusine relative. You have inherited other traits from them. Melusine attribute aquatic affinity. Thanks to your Melusine ancestry, you have inherited the ability to swim underwater for extended periods of time. You will have additional action options in scenarios involving water. Lastly, the Ada. Ada are a rare species of winged humanoids descended from the Elenates. They are distantly related to elves and Melusine. Ada are recognizable by their pointed ears, metallic and jewel-toned hair, collars, and wings. They also bear crests, marking that appear around the eyes and forehead that often match the, their hair or eye color. Ada are short-lived compared to their Elenade kin, with lifespan reaching between 70 and 80. As a man of mixed human and Ada parentage, so you're also gonna be half human. You are keenly aware of your heritage. While you lack the wings to fly like your Ada relatives, well, that's unfortunate. I was thinking like flying would be a very great advantage, but I guess not. You have inherited other traits from them. Ada attributes super hearing. Thanks to your Ada ancestry, you have inherited an acute sense of hearing. You will have the additional options related to sound and hearing that allow you to be perceptive of the world around you. You may pick up on details you might otherwise miss. Okay, so what should we choose? I feel like I'm just gonna choose human so I can be immersed more in the game. I can't really relate to the other race because I'm not them. But if I choose human, that would be the safe option, right? So yeah, just uh I am not a very, creative person, so I will have troubles like wait, wait, my Google just activated. Uh I will have trouble immersing myself if I myself can't, be the character I'm playing in the game. Unless I have a better grasp of this world. So my first playthrough, if ever I play another game, this I might choose human. I don't even care about the advantages. I died. Go. So I'm just gonna choose human. I don't like character creation. Why does this matter? In tone, I'm light brown. Oh, but I'm just gonna choose that anyway. It's a beige. I don't know what's beige. I don't have any of that. Okay, that's all there is to it. Oh no, yeah, I still have more. Choose brown. Let's choose the most mundane things. My hair color is black, yes. My hair length should be short enough. I don't know what short is. Let's choose what's scrapped. I don't know what's scrapped. Wait. What's locked? Facial hair. have a goatee, I guess. Maybe not. Okay, what's my height? Will this affect my choices? I mean, my advantages in the game? I'm not sure. I'm not. This is average. No? Okay, this is my R thing. Let's confirm. We have the most mundane character in the whole history. Risk and consequence. Once you make a choice, there is no going back. Okay. Success is never a guarantee. Your journey hinges on a combination of your previous action, your relationship to other characters, and skill checks. Failure is not an end, it is merely another path, one that may lead to unexpected outcomes. Oh, the sound there. That was like so well timed. In the southern wastes of Artanis, two children travel down a dark forest road, watched over by a surly guardian. They hurl towards a destiny neither expect. Two children travel down a dark forest road, watched over by a surly guardian. They hurl towards a destiny neither expect. Oh no, this will test my comprehension. There are two children traveling down a dark forest road, and they are being watched by a what is surly? Do we have a definition stuff? I wish I'm using my browser right now. Okay, Google. What is surly? No, I meant not thoroughly. Okay, Google. What is surly? Not surly, not pearly. It got it the first time, but it just changed for some reason. Bad-tempered or unfriendly. Okay, we have a unfriendly guardian. They hurdle. What is hurdle? Hurdle. Okay, Google. What is hurdle? Not hurdle. Hurdle. It got it the first time. It always changes it to the most move or cause to move at a great speed. They hurtle towards, so they move or move fastly. They rushed towards a destiny neither expected. Okay, saving. All reading and reading. Let's go. Winter 1231, 1231. The covered cart bounces along the mountain path, rolling over pits and pebbles as its wheels churn. The covered cart bounces along the mountain path, rolling over pits and pebbles as its wheels churn through muddied snow. We have snow. Winter, so it's snowing, of course. One corner of the canvas cover, torn loose many hours ago, flaps noisily in the cold wind. One corner of the canvas cover covered. We are in a cart, right? Bounces along the mountain path, rolling over the pits and pebbles as its wheels churn through muddy snow. One corner of the canvas cover, torn loose many hours ago, flaps noisily in the cold wind. Canvas cover, one corner of the canvas cover. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. What's a canvas cover? Like that. Okay. Just shows me pictures. Cover for canvas. But I don't think that's what it meant. The horses snort and nicker as they climb the steep path. Their driver sternly. Okay, Google. What is stern? Urging them forwards. Night fell some time ago, and the moon rises above the dark tree line hanging amid a splash of vibrant stars. You sit in a corner, a fur-lined cloak resting heavily around your shoulders. Wait. Let me find the better music. We'll find some. No copyright. Ambient. Winter. Music. Music's sound. Snow sound. Snowstorm sound. Okay, this is Creative Commons thing. Okay, now we are fully immersed. Can you hear it? I think it's too loud. There. Okay, we can feel the snow now. We are making our own background music for this game. Not really a game, it's an interactive fiction. Well, yeah, I guess that's a game. Night fell some time ago, and the moon rises above the dark tree line, hanging amid a splash of vibrant stars. You sit in a corner, a fur-lined cloak, resting heavily around your shoulders. The cloak isn't yours, it belongs to the cranky dwarf at the head of the cart, and it doesn't fit you very well. Okay, so I don't know my age for this one, so I can't really imagine what I look like. Yes, but I do have an idea of what I look like. I just don't know how old I look like, you know? Doesn't tell me. So we are in a cart in the snow, being dragged by horses. We are, I guess, inside the cart. We are resting heavily on your shoulders. We have a cloak, which is not ours. Belongs to the cranky dwarf. Cranky, I don't know. I guess I know, but I just don't know the definite definition. Okay, Google. What is cranky? Doesn't fit you very well. Ill-tempered or irritable. Ill-tempered or irritable. Yeah. Doesn't fit you very well. A small dagger in a worn leather sheath is strapped to your belt. We have a dagger. Another gift from the dwarf. Okay, so this dwarf, although they are cranky, they give us stuff we need. Something he insisted you to take just in case, in quotations. The journey, he said, would be long, and you never knew what surprises waited for you on the road. I guess this dwarf cares for us. The inside of the cart is lit by a single lantern strung from the center bow It swings back and forth, illuminating the sacks, supplies, and rations strapped down for transit. Can we find no copyright uh, horse cart sound? Horse and carriage. I hope this is no copyrighted. This is not produced by myself, but other like for someone. This does not mean that I stole the sound. If there is no it's either royalty free or you produce this sound. They have not been copyrighted yet. So I hope. Just gonna is this copyrighted? I hope I'm not gonna get claimed from this. Please, please. But it's just too, no, bland. We need some sound. I'm gonna subscribe to this channel. Okay, now we have sound. You're in a cart, so might as well. Just gonna lower the snow. There. Let's continue reading. The journey, he said, would be long, and you never knew what surprises waited for you on the road. The inside of the cart is lit by a single lantern strung from the center bowl. It swings back and forth, illuminating the sacks of supplies and rations strapped down for transit and your traveling companion. This one. We don't get claimed, please. Okay. Oh, so we can't use it. Just read the about page. I don't think it's available for use. Okay. The consumer may enjoy, so just for personal use freely, such as for entertainment, blah blah blah. So place your table with friends, blah blah blah. Private parties. So I can't use that. So unfortunate. Well, I already played it, so I don't know if I'm just... let's see if we are already claimed. Hope not. Well, much for that. Just the grinding sounds. I'm just gonna choose this one from audio library. It's back and forth limiting the success for transit, and your traveling companion, a lanky boy, curled up on the far side of the cart. He snores softly, his head drowsily lolling on... Okay, Google. What's lolling? Calm or sent to sleep. This sort of cart is lit by a single lantern strung from the center bow. It swings back and forth, illuminating the sacks of supplies and rations strapped down for transit, and your traveling companion, a lanky boy curled up on the far side of the cart. He snores softly, his head drowsily lolling on his shoulder, untroubled by the cart's jolting. Unable to sleep, you stare out the back of the cart, eyes drawn to the disappearing lights in the distance. The cart passed through the last town without thought of stopping. As it vanishes into the night, so do all chances of hot food and warm bed. Your stomach growls pitifully. You wonder whether you should say something. Cart passed through the last town without thought of stopping. As it vanishes into the night, so do all the chance of hot food and warm bed. Your stomach growls pitifully. You wonder whether you should say something to your grouchy escort, but think better of it. He fully expects you to be asleep right now. He said some hours ago that your destination is close, and he would wake you when you arrived. Not your fault you can sleep. It's cold, so cold. You can see your breath rise in the light of the lantern. The cart is uncomfortable. You're in an unfamiliar place. surrounded by strangers, and the loose flap is far, far too loud. You ignore your stomach, and trying not to think about food, crawl towards the back of the cart. Here you are in a familiar place surrounded by strangers, and the loose flap is far, far too loud. You ignore your stomach and, trying not to think about food, crawl towards at the back of the cart. Balancing precariously on the edge, you stick out your hand and reach. Fingers clawing at the air, at the flap. You catch it. Uh, The cart hits a bump. You fly forwards. Muffled scream ripping from your throat as you toss towards the craggy road. Why'd you do that? A cart hits a bump. You fly forwards. A muffled scream ripping your from your throat as you are tossed towards the craggy road. So I fell out of the cart. A hand grabs you, okay, and yanks on your cloak, pulling you back in. I thank goodness. You collapse sideways on the floor, breathing rapidly, rather. Your cheeks pressed against the rough road. You rock back and forth, feeling every pit and rut on the road as the cart rolls on, slowly getting your jagged breath under control. You look up and stare at the boy who saved you. He sits cross-legged, with his back against a sack of supplies, his fur cloak pulling around his gangly frame. Okay, Google. What's gangly? Okay, Google. What's gangly? Lang ini. Ini po something. Fur cloak. His face, usually pale, is flushed. The tip of his nose is red. Pointed ears stick out from under a long mop of unruly sandy brown hair. His eyes are blue and earnest. He's around the same age as you, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. It's hard to tell. Okay. He's gangly, so skinny. He's pale. He's usually pale, but he's currently flushed. The boy, so he. The tip of his nose is red. Okay. Let's try to imagine that. Pointed ears. Brown hair. Unruly sandy brown hair. His eyes are blue and earnest. Blue eyes, brown hair, pointy ears. They're all the same age as you, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. It's hard to tell. He joined the cart a few days ago when you passed Iridia, a big city, the last haven before the world turns into an endless sea of forest and mountain. I haven't said a word to him. Okay, what's our approach? I think we should be nice. Touch me, thanks, I guess. Okay, so this one. Thought you were okay. Let's choose. I thought you were asleep. Not really. Can't sleep. Works. Me neither. You push yourself up and scoot backwards so your back rests against the edge of the cart. You wrap your arms around your knees and hold tight. Your heart flutters in your chest, leftover panic from your near miss. Should we save or does it have? I think it has autosave. Let's save. Wait, we barely did anything. Push yourself up and scoot backwards so your back rests against the edge of the cart. You wrap your arms around your knees and hold tight. Your heart flutters in your chest, leftover panic from your near miss refusing your near Leftover panic from your near miss. Refusing to let go. I don't know what that means, but I guess that means you're still in shock. I guess. I'm Aaron. Aaron Callis. The boy smiles. You're welcome. For what? He points at the back of the card. Saving your life, he says. If you fell out, you would have rolled all the way back to Trust, and I don't think Henrik will come back for you. Ooh. Rindan Henrik, the cranky dwarf driving the cart, when he met you, he said you were important, and he was taking you to a place called the Spire. You make a face. I think he would. Maybe. Aaron pauses and chews the inside of his cheek. Okay, you're right, he would. But falling out would have hurt like crazy. So I still saved you. Hooray. What were you trying to do, by the way? You glare at him. Talk a lot. Has anyone ever told you that? You're grumpy, he shoots back. Has anyone ever told you that? You stare at each other in silence. But you can't hold out for long. The grin splits from ear to ear. You and Aaron dissolve into laughter. The cart pulls to an abrupt stop. Corindan is the dwarf. Aaron is the pale, pointed ear brown hair dude. Sandy brown hair, blue eyes, blah blah blah. I think I can remember that. Oh. Aaron. Rindan Senrik. Let's continue. Hey. Hey. A gruff voice calls from the box seat. A moment later, a dwarf appears round the back of the cart. He's old. His shoulder-length brown hair, streaked with gray, is swept back into a tail. Shoulder-length brown hair. Shoulder-length brown hair. Also brown hair, streaked with gray. So, yeah, he's old. Swept back into a tail. Oh, ponytail, I think. In the flickering lantern light, you can make out the jagged scars that run down the left side of his face, turning his eye into an ugly lump of scarred tissue. He looks a little bit like a tree stump. It's a dwarf, so should be small. Cedric eyes the pair of you, unsuccessfully trying to mask his fatigue and annoyance. We're several leagues from the spire, and these mountains are dangerous, he barks. You don't know what lurks out there in the darkness. Quiet down and go to bed. Yes, sir, Aaron says, scrambling to sit upright. He elbows you in the sides, and you nod in agreement. Cedric steps away, muttering under his breath. You hear his footsteps trudge alongside the cart. Okay, Google. What's trudge? Trudge. Walk slowly with heavy steps, typically because of exhaustion or harsh condition. Okay, walk slowly with heavy steps. You hear Cedric is the dwarf, so you would assume he's tired because he's been awake this whole time, moving the cart until he hoists himself back into the back seat. The horses snicker and the cart trundles on. Okay, Google. What's trundle? Wheeled. Okay, move or cause to move. Oh, I think this one I've already searched earlier. I just don't remember it. You stare at your hands, twisting your fingers together. The past month has been a blur. If someone asked you to recount the events of a single day in your journey so far, wait a minute, wait a minute. Your days of switching your fingers together. The past month has been a blur. If someone asked you to recount the events of a single day in your journey so far, you would have no doubt disappoint them. Every day is the same, with a slightly different landscape. You don't even know what the Wayfarers want with you. At least, not exactly. It's difficult to wrangle words out of Senric on a good day, so even when he does speak to you, he's light on the details. All you know is you're headed to a place called the Spire, and it is very, very far away. Memories of the life you lived before this journey hit you, unbidden and unwanted. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. What's unbidden? Without having been commanded or invited. Unbidden, uninvited, unwelcome, unsolicited, unwanted. I think that's the same thing. Without having been commanded. Memories of unbidden and unwanted. You retreat further into your cloak as you sift through your memories. The person you were before this journey. Continue. Choose your origin. Wow. Choose from 6 possible backgrounds. Each origin boosts a different set of skills and comes with a unique history. Your choice of origin will affect the course of your journey, unlocking unique dialogue and action options. Click on a card to view an origin description. You will be asked to confirm your origin before you proceed. Let's save, I think. Does it autosave? I guess so. Yes, let's delete that. Save that. Child of the desert, child of the wilds, child of the fields, child of the streets, child of the seas, child of the city. Child of the desert. You are from a family of warriors who reside in the deserts of Saphir. You have spent most of your childhood traveling your native lands, training to fight. I'll be right back. We're back. Let's continue. This is from no. Child of the desert. You're from a family of warriors who reside in the deserts of Saphir. You have spent most of your childhood traveling your native lands, training to fight and protect. Even at your young age, you have mastered a diverse set of weapons and techniques. Though you were never ostracized by your family for your particular lack of magic, you were always treated with sense of pity. an unfortunate soul unable to live out their potential. When Senric arrived with an offer to join the Wayfarer Order, your family urged you to go with him to a better future and never look back. As a native of Sathir, you speak two languages, Sathiric and Arathian. +1 agility and +1 agility. +1 strength and +1 agility. So we have we choose the desert one. Um, we'll be able to use different weapons. So we will not have a skill in magic. And we'll also have strength or agility, so we have a physical build again. Child of the Wilds. You are from the clan of hunters in the Artanisian wilds. You have spent most of your childhood learning the ways of the hunt. Many in your clan thought your lack of magic to be a hindrance, and at a young age, you were branded the black sheep of the family. Though you worked twice as hard to prove to yourself among those who wielded magic, you could never live up to the clan's expectation. When Senric arrived with an offer to join the Wayfarer Order, your clan insisted your path was with him and unceremoniously sent you on the way. As a native of Arcanist, you speak two languages, Artanisian and Arathian. So I guess everyone here does not have any magical prowess. Just have light that boost. This one strength and perception. This one strength and agility. You are the child of farmers from the rich fields of Arzania. You have never wielded oh no. You have never held a weapon in your life, but you are accustomed to hard work. You spent much of your childhood taking your family's goods to the local market, where you nurtured a hidden talent for bartering. Okay. This one, bartering. So, social skills, maybe things like that. Economy. Though you've always felt relatively normal, your friends and peers have always seen you as a little strange, perhaps due to your lack of magic. When Cendric arrived to your offer to join you, your parents sent you away without ceremony, saying it was for the best. Corellat is as a native of Arsenia, you speak two languages, Arsenian and Arathian. Strength and persuasion. But that's good, I think. And it's like we'll have to be more social. The persuasion good. Can persuade people, you know. Child of the streets. You have never known parents or a family. All you have left of them, the name they gave you. You are one of the hundreds of children lost in the streets of Nisankyo, the capital of Arzania. Most don't survive. Those without magic shouldn't survive, but you did. Everything you know, you've taught yourself. It was by chance Senric found you, a chance you'll never take for granted. When he offered you to take you away to another life, one where food and shelter were guaranteed, where you will be taught to defend yourself, where you won't be shaved and where you won't be shamed and spit on, you couldn't say no. As a native of Arzania, you are fluent in Arzanian and Arathian. You're also well versed in the Sanctium street dialect. We will gain agility and perception. This one, more independent. Mhm. We'll have perception and agility for this one. I think these ones are all agility. You're born in tall Wayfarer to a wealthy family whose mercantile empire spans the Restanian Ocean. As a child with no magic, you were often forgotten about, nothing more than a waste of resources in comparison to your magically talented siblings and cousins. Even so, you were taken on multiple journeys and have already seen your fair share of the world, from aristocrats to pirates. When Cedric approached your family with an offer to join the Wayfarer Order, he agreed to turn you over to his custody for a price, of course. As a native of Coveran Republic, you are fluent in multiple languages, including Coveran, Arethian, Feran, and Naresti. So this one, yeah, another persuasion one, but we have agility instead of strength. That's good. Out of the city. You're born in Budena into a Vestran aristocracy. Despite your lack of magic, you were given the education of a noble, studying history, mathematics, sciences, music, and multiple languages. However, you were always seen as an odd child, the disappointment of the family, and you were ostracized from your peers. When Senric approached your family with an offering to join the Wayfarers Order, you begged your parents to allow you to go to them with them, hoping he would bring much needed change in your life. As a native of Vestra, you are fluent in multiple languages, including Vestran, Arathian, Covernan, and Mayran. We'll have perception and persuasion. I'm liking this one. Hmm. What should we choose? I think it's hard. Maybe we'll encounter some like events where we'll need to fight, but I feel like perception and persuasion are just, I don't know, good stats when it comes to social stuff. So we can avoid maybe with some stuff if we have perception. But fighting things head on isn't really my style. Agility, maybe we will have more time to time the events or something. Maybe we are just fast. I think I'll choose strength and perception, strength and persuasion, agility and persuasion, agility and perception. I think I like this one, perception and persuasion. Yeah, I'll select this virgin. That is who you were, but it doesn't mean that's who. Restless, Ignorant taps his finger along the floor. Hard. The sound draws you out of your whirling thoughts. I'll do it. Aaron, the pale dude, taps his fingers along the floor of the cart. The sound draws you out of your whirling thoughts. Think you're going to sleep? He whispers. Shake your head. You're wide awake. You couldn't sleep even if you wanted to. Aaron grits. Me neither. He stretches his hand high above his head. So you know my name. What's yours? Not like that. Did you this Mondor? It sounds bad. This Aeon. Let's choose Aeon. Intius. Let's choose that. Confirm. Oh no, they have first letters. I don't like that. It just confused me. Hi. You reply cautiously, smiling back. So, where are you from? He asked, cuffing his boot back and forth across the floor. Well, I don't think I will tell. It's all in the past. Let's not delve more into it. Just reading with my eyes now. Let's read it out loud. Not your business, you say. Aaron falls. Face falls. He looks away, staring out the back of the cart. The starry night sky. He pulls his knees into his chest and wraps his arms around them. Okay, sorry I asked. You chewed the inside of your cheek. He's trying to be friendly. Maybe you shouldn't blame him for that. You've been on the road for so long, just you and Senric, and the dwarf doesn't say much. You're lonely, but that doesn't mean you want to be friends with some random boy who unexpectedly joined you on your journey through the mountains. The cart trundles on. You and Aaron sit in silence for some time, jostled to and fro by the bumps in the road. The winding path hits a steep incline, and you hear Senric muttering to the horses, urging them forwards. You think you overhear them asking them to stop complaining. You overhear him. Do you know much about the Wayfarers? Aaron asks. Shake your head. I didn't hear anything about them until Senric showed up. You pause, rubbing the back of your neck with your hands. You're stiff all over. You want to get out of his cart. Do you know much about the Wayfarers? He rests his elbows on his knees and his chin on his hands. They come through Teridia every so often. He replies. Everyone knows about them. They're warriors or monster hunters or something. People respect them, but they also stay away. Let them do what they need to do. They do all sorts of things, but they're different. Because they don't have magic. Yeah. Like the Wayfarers, you don't have magic. You know your immunity is the reason you're here. The reason Senric sought you out, no matter how hard you tried. A normal life was always out of reach. You chew a fingernail and watch him carefully. Your childhood taught you to be cautious about who you revealed this information to. Some were indifferent, others pitied you, and some swallowed the lump on your throat, or you'd rather not think about that. Admit and you don't have magic. You're not sure, but if you're here because you don't have magic, maybe the same is true for him. Nod and keep quiet. He doesn't know anything more about. Yes. Don't have much. I'll save. I'll admit that I don't have magic, just in case you don't. I don't have magic. Your heart pounds in your chest as you wait for a reply. Aaron looks away, hugging his knees even closer to his chest. He doesn't say anything for a long time. Silence is unbearable. Me neither. Words hits you hard. You look at him, eyes wide, and see him smiling. It's no bad. I wonder if we'll become wayfarers. Aaron muses. I shouldn't have used the name I chose. I already forgot the name. Or A. Gonna be confused. That always that always confuses me. Uh when the classmates have the same, letters for names. First letters. Also last syllables like it will confuse me a lot. Especially if they're always together. Who is who? I don't know. Remember. So let's move on. Maybe that's why Senric took us. I don't know, maybe. You chew your lower lip. His words make sense. Maybe too much. You don't know how you feel about it. You don't know if you want to become a wayfarer. And if you don't, well, Senric even you the chance to the cart dips heels, rolling through a rut in the road. You lurch forwards, knees banging against the floor. Your hand jerks out and grabs the edge of the cart, and you catch yourself before you can fall flat on your face. Your teeth are rattled. Your knees. You are getting very tired of travel. Very sorry. You cast an eye at Aaron, but he seems relatively unruffled with the cart's jostling. Okay, Google. What's jostling? Push, elbow, or bumps against. Bang in. He is on his knees, hands planted in front of him. Stares out the back of the cart, mouth agape, he sniffs and unconsciously rubs his nose with the back of his neck. Look, yes. Look at the back of the cart. Wow. You blink, falling silent. You crawl forwards, shimmying to the back head to get a better look. Curtain of light surges across the night sky, flickering dance. It shimmers its green glow, rolling and swirling through the stars. There's no wind or anything. I just want to turn it off. I don't like. There's no ambience. Also, I don't have any ambient sounds for carriage or carriage. That copyright. You watched open mouth as the lights dance their celestial dance. What was that? You ask. Southern lights. Okay. Aaron replies, putting up beside you. The southern lights. Usually can see them from Teridia, but I've heard travelers talk about them. You gape, awestruck. Hey Google, what is gape? Gape. Gape. Become wide open. Awestruck. The Sandium says they're a blessing from the gods. Continues that they favor all who travel beneath their light, whatever that means. He rests his hand on the lip of the cart and sticks his head out from under the canvas canopy. My foster father always that was that was crap. The lights are natural, not magical, though he didn't want to explain how he knew that. Aaron exhales a long breath. You watch, maybe we have sound for night sound. H. No copyright. Does this have copyright? You can try. Wait a couple months. Okay. Okay, now we have a different sound. Aaron exhales a long breath. You watch the mist rise into the cold air in the lantern light. Into the long wait. You watch the mist rise in the cold air in the lantern. I don't know. He adds for a moment. I like the idea that something like that doesn't magic to be, well, powerful. You sit back on your heels, knees folded beneath you. The lights swirl and a patch of violet ripples through the green. Yeah. You and Aaron fall into a comfortable silence. The two of you clinging to the back of the cart to watch the light dance. The light roam sky. Their patterns unpredictable. Try to guess what they will move next. Point at different spots in the sky. But you will always guess wrong. Aaron laughs, muffling sound by pressing. I'm lost. You try to guess where they lights from the sky, the battles and all. Try to guess where they will move next, pointing the battles to the sky, but you will guess wrong. Aaron laughs, muffling the sound by pressing a hand over. Can't help the blissful grin that spreads from ear to ear. The horses bray in distress. The cart abruptly jolts. And really choose. Henrik mutters inaudibly to the horse. Aaron shoots. What's, what's going on? He mumbles. Spread your hands. The horses bray in distress as the cart abruptly jolts to a stop. What's going on? Yeah, maybe we should stay the cart until we have this based on our stat right now. Better to stay in the cart. We don't have the strength and agility. Whenever there's a fight, we can't really handle it. We only have perception and persuasion. Take your hit. I'm staying right here. Finish and scrolls to the back of the car. Well, I'm going to look, he whispers. Do what you want. Wait, Aaron. He drops over the back of the cart and disappears. Alone in the cart, you pull your cloak tight around your shoulders and stare out the back. The southern light gleam high in the southern light gleams high in the sky, but you can't focus on their beautiful unpredictable patterns now. You can hear voices from somewhere ahead of the cart. The lands beyond are dangerous, traveler. Voice young and unsteadily yells. Go back to trust. To the former, certainly, considering its common knowledge, Henrik growls. To the latter, unlikely. Wasting my time is a waste of yours. Let me through. You have a pass? Say what now? Pass. 200 years and I've never needed a bloody pass. Henrik grunts. Since when did the Arathian Empire man checkpoints in the Artanasian wilderness? This is an imperial highway, sir. A new voice repeats. A highway to where exactly? Frost is the last settlement of this road. Regardless of what territories lies beyond the road itself, the voice interrupts. By virtue of trade treaties, the highways are imperial lands. Though the person speaking maintains an official tone, they can't quite hide their anxiety. Henrik groans. I'm not here to argue semantics. You want a pass? Here's my pass. Imperial something something. Turn off the carriage sounds is stop thing. Continue. You wish you could see what was going on. What did Senrik show them? You're pretty sure it's not a pass. Marcella. The first voice says cautiously. Is he is he threatening us? Did he draw a sword or something? Isn't that a little excessive even for Senrik? I don't know, Berand. The second hisses back. What do you think? Okay, so Marcella, the first voice says cautiously. Is he threatening us? Did he draw a sword or something? It isn't a little excessive in for Senrik. So this one is just a thought from us. I don't know Berand, so Berand is first person. The first voice is Berand. You think maybe we should let them through? Don't be an idiot. Enough. Senrik snaps. Clearly, some imperial fool ordered you here without education about the surrounding area. While the nosy side of me wonders what the heck you did to deserve such a forsaken post. I don't care enough to find out. You should know the spire. Hold on. Like, let me change. Okay, okay. Can't change font, font thing. Like, the font color, I mean. Wish we could change it to grayer color. But I guess there's none of that. Regal food or you care enough to find out. You should know the spire. The headquarters of the Wayfarer order. Spire is the Wayfarer's. Okay, go. Let's keep that in mind. Lies in the mountains beyond, he sighs wearily. I am returning home. Imperial blockade or not. This isn't a blockade. Marcella splutters. Okay, so Marcella is the second person. Ferrand is the first person that talked. This is an unearthly howl rips through the air. You shiver, hair raising on the back of your neck. Suddenly do not want to be alone in this cart. You scramble to the back and heave yourself over the ledge, dropping onto the road. Ah, okay, that was useless. We didn't stay inside the cart anyways. Frozen mud crunches beneath your feet. You quietly move around the side of the cart. Aaron is a dark shape. Crouched. Huh? Quietly move around to the side of the cart. Aaron is a dark shape crouched near the driver's box. He glances at you as you crawl up next to him. He puts a finger to his lips. You can see three people in front of you. Cendric is one. His sword is drawn. The watered blade shining bright in the lantern. The two others are sentries, a man and a woman. Young, barely adults. Though they are cloaked in heavy winter gear, you can make out a flash of armor beneath the furs and wools. An unfamiliar gold insignia embroiders the patches placed on their right shoulders. You squint, trying to figure out what it is. A bird of some kind? Do they have armor? Have insignias placed on the right shoulders? Bird or some kind. The road ahead is barricaded. A dilapidated. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. What's dilapidated? Banner is dilapidated. A state of despair or ruin. The ruin. Erected just off the road. It's a dark flag flapping loosely in the wind. Further away, tucked between the two large snowdrifts, is a short, squat lodge. It is well lit, with flickering lamps in the windows and lanterns hung from the brackets along the walls. Like most lights conjured by magic, the light is bright and cold, very different from the natural warmth of the fire in Senric's lamp. Rows of icicles cling to the eaves, sticking out under a foot of snow. Okay, Google. What is a squat lodge? Ah. Okay, Google. What is lodge? Okay, Google. What is lodge? A small house. Okay. It is well lit with flickering lamps. Oh, wait, with windows. Obviously. Snow drifts. Okay, Google. What is snow drifts? A bank of deep snow heaped up by the wind. Okay. Uh huh. So magical. Rows of icicles cling to the eaves, peeking out from under a foot of snow. The howl echoes the valley a second. What was that? Durand asked shakily. What happened again? There was a howl. That that's why we moved out. Aaron nudges you and points at something at a distance beyond the blockade. Follow his gesture, but can't see anything through the darkness. What is it? He mouths. His eyes widen. You can't see it? You get your feet. I can't see in the dark. Without warning, he pushes you face first into the snow and shoves you under the cart. With your breath knocked from your lungs, you roll onto your side and watch Aaron slide under after you. What? He covers your mouth with a gloved hand. Shut up. This is okay. That's why we shouldn't have we shouldn't have moved outside of the cart. You know, if we were gonna just hide. Anyways, can't do anything. There's a monster or there's a fight. We don't have those stats yet. Any further protests die at the back of your throat. The horses bray with unease, their hooves stamping furiously on the ground. The cart creaks as Senric steps out of the driver's seat. You watch the heels of his boots crunch on the road, the tip of his scabbard hovering inches from the snow. Any further protest causes personally is the hoof stamping fiercely to the ground. The cart creaks as Senric steps out of the air. We watch the heels of his boots crunch in the road, tip of his scabbard hovering just from the snow. Hold back, he bellows. Now! Beran stutters, barely managing a single word. But now! Two pairs of boots backtrack towards the cart. The creature, whatever it is, unleashes another howl, one that shakes you to the bone. The horses whiny, but they do not bolt. Your stomach twists. Fenric said these roads were dangerous, but he never explained why. Aaron is too frightened to describe what he saw. You need to know what's out there. Knowing may be terrifying, but not knowing is 1,000 times worse. I don't know about that. You shuffle to the front of the cart. Snow clumps around you as you wiggle forwards. Aaron grabs your cloak, gesturing for you to stop, but you wave a hand. You wave ahead at him. You turn your face sideways and peer out under the cart. Henrik stands in the center of the pool of light, sword drawn, fur-lined cloak blowing gently in the wind. He's calm, collected, ready to strike. There is something almost heroic in his stance. In the way he holds his blade, it is completely at odds with the surly, grumpy temperament you've come to know. And then the giant claw swipes out of the darkness and knocks him into the snowbank. Your jaw drops. Marcella screams. The creature breaks through the barricades, smashing the wood to pieces, and lands in the center of the light. It's huge, far larger than a house. It's huge, far larger than a horse, larger than two horses put together. It has a feline face with powerful jaws that stretch almost all the way to the back of its skull. Its head is crowned with thin, ragged antlers, stretching outwards behind its ears. Jagged antlers stretching out its ears, feline with antlers. Its body is covered with white fur, but its limbs are black and scaled, ending in black claws. A long tail curves away from its body, curling up like a scorpion tail. Okay. Let's try to make an AI visualize what this looks like. Hold on, hold on. Let's generate an image based on the description. Okay. Speaking, let's continue reading. It snarls, blue gunk dripping between its... What's gunk? Its luminous blue eyes searching the clearing. Then its tail unfurls and lashes out in a wide circle around its body. The horses scream and collapse in a spray of blood. Then its tail unfurls and lashes out. The horses scream and collapse in a spray of blood. Your stomach hurls and you slap a hand over your mouth to keep from retching. Okay, Google. What's retching? Okay, Google. What's retching? The action of the stomach and esophagus to try to vomit. Okay. You are gonna vomit almost. Okay, so that's the creature. Okay, wow. Looks cool. Though it doesn't have the scorpion tail. The image I generated. Oh. Anyways, that was that. Let's continue. It's that thing. Manarl. Niran replies. They usually don't come this far north, but when they do, trails off. His implication doesn't need to be voiced. Your mouth goes dry. Is Henrik dead? I don't know. We are 1 hour and 46 in, or maybe not. That's my stream thing. That's our actual time. We're more than an hour already, and we're still in the prologue. Oh. Henrik stands in the center of a pool of light, sojourn fur-lined cloak blowing gently in the wind. His calm... What? Okay, we just continue. The fanarl raises its head and howls. The sound pierces your ears and you slam your hands over them. The creature tail swings back around in a wide arc and slashes through the top of the cart. Timbers crack and the canvas cover, frame and all, collapse inward. Something grabs your feet and yanks you backward. You kick desperately as you're dragged from under the cart. You flail, rolling back and forth. You open your mouth and scream, but your assailant shoves a gloved hand over your mouth. Oh yeah. Well, I guess it's a good thing we didn't stay inside the cart. Click, it's Barand. Shh, he breathes. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's not okay, Marcella interrupts. You crouches beside him, huffing breathlessly, having pulled Aaron from the wrecked cart. Her spear lies beside her in a pocket of snow. Can't believe that idiot was traveling here with children. The tail crashes through what remains of the cart, smashing it in smashing it to splinters. The Fanarl crouches, ready to pounce its grinning jaws, widening even further. It leers at the cart, claws shimmering in the snow. It's ugly. You're looking the wrong way, Fanarl hisses. Tail crashes through. Turning up snow as it spins around, all the interest in the cart lost. Cedric stands at the other side of the clearing, looking a little winded, but none the worse for the wear. His cloak is shredded on the left side, but his armor is otherwise untouched. He falls into a defensive stance, sword shining bright. The Fanar leaps at him, claws extended. He dodges to the side, his sword slicing through the air. The Fanar lands in a mountain of snow, bright red blood oozing from a wound. It howls, incest eyes rolling, and turns on Senric. Now, Marcella hisses, grabbing her spear. Move it! The four of you run for the trees, keeping low as you drag yourselves through the snowbanks. Snow clings to your lower legs as you drag yourself through it. Head, Iran stumbles, nearly falling flat on his face. Marcella reaches for him and helps him up, pushing him towards the trees. She turns back and grabs your hand, tugging you through the snow. You reach the tree and sink behind one hand pressed against your chest. Your heart is beating rapidly. You can't stop shaking. Marcella reaches the trees with Aaron. She pushes him further back into the woods, then crouches behind the tree to survey the clearing. She mutters, curses. Durand crawls through the snow and crouches next to her. Maybe if we wait long enough, it'll go away. Marcella laughs hoarsely, as if we'd be that lucky. She shakes her head. There's only one thing we can do now: get to trust and get help, and endanger the villagers by leading it right to them. It's distracted by that wayfarer, Berand. It won't notice us. How can you be so sure? Stars above, Marcella sighs. There are guild mages in trust. If we get the Arc Sage's help, you think mages can help with something like that? A guild mage good, but then it's the same problem as before. Marcella groans and closes her eyes, sinking into the snow. I knew this was going to be a first post. I knew it. We weren't trained for this. You ignore Marcella and Burand and crawl over to Aaron. He lies on his back, staring at the soaring pines. So dark green, they appear black in the night. The southern lights gleam green and violet. Their dance undisturbed. What do we do? You whisper. He sits up and brushes snow and pine needles from his shoulders. I don't know. Peek out from behind the trees. The snow in the clearing is trampled and streaked with blood from the dead horse and the wounded Fanarl. Sandrick circles the Fanarl steady and patient, waiting for an opening. It watches him, hissing and spitting the blue gunk across the ground. Sandrick darts forward to land a strike, but its hand but its tail lashes around in a protective lethal circle. He retreats narrowly, avoiding the tail. He retreats narrowly, avoiding the trail. The tail. Okay, sampled, checked with blood. Center circles. Binaural, set it situation paper. Hey Google, what's gunk? Gang. Gunk. Gunk. What? Why doesn't it? Substance. Some kind of sub. Okay. You have to do something. Continue. Your hands. Your hand. Your hand falls to your side. Picking the small dagger attached to your belt. You don't know how to use it, at least not properly. But if worst comes to worst, you're not going to let yourself get eaten by that thing. Not without a fight. But you know about Vanarls? How do you kill them? Aaron stares at you. You don't. But what if you could? You press. Aaron groans and puts his hands over his face. I don't know. Anytime there's a sighting of Tyrindian guard sent, the Tyrindian guard sends out warnings and keeps people away from the area until it moves on. Sometimes Hunter try to deal with them, but they only really go away if they get a Wayfarer from the spire. A Wayfarer like Sanric. Yeah. Aaron lowers his head. I guess so. Fanarls have some kind of, I don't know, magical venom? The blue stab in its jaws. A Wayfarer wouldn't have to worry about that. But they're still fast and their claws and tails are more of a problem than their magic. Aaron's voice fades away. Meanwhile, Marcella and Viran are still arguing. You tuned them out. They're as clueless as you are. Maybe even more. But we don't know what to do. Okay, saving. You clutch the hilt of your dagger. Your thoughts spinning. An idea is forming in your mind. Well, several ideas, if you're being honest. And all of them are various shades of bad. We don't have kills yet. Oh, hello, toxic. Hello, hello. Um, it's been more than an hour since I'm streaming, and I'm still in the prologue, so I don't really think you missed that much. Well, I can, retell everything that happened if you want, so you can catch up. I'm just reading, by the way. Not like I'm playing or anything. Well, there's some sort of interaction with them. You want me to tell? I do. Okay, lag. You want me to tell you what's happened so far? Wait, what happened? Crashed. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What happened? My game just crashed. Everything just crashed. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, wait. Hold on, hold on. This is so unlucky. What happened? Everything just crashed. I hope my stream is still open. Let me see. Are you still there? Am I still audible? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I can still hear myself. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna relog. I mean, reopen the game. Yikes! 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 I that hope it auto saved because okay, we're still in the prologue. I can still retrace my steps. So while I'm opening the game again, I hope it's I don't what's going on. Just lagged for no reason at all. Okay, so what happened so far? This is an interactive fiction game, so choose your own adventure game where you just read. You know, at least it helps me, speak like most of the time. Yeah. So it let me choose a race, my appearance, and also my place of origin. I chose human since that's the easy choice. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's an easy like it makes the game easy. No, no, no. It just gave me the advantage of like being able to blend in with the environment since there's more the humans. I look like a human, so things like that. Also, uh, the place of origin I chose the one. I think that was city boy or whatever. I don't know. It gave me +1 perception and +1 persuasion. I just chose that because load. Okay, it was saved. Thank goodness. Let me. It's not the window I want it to capture. That's not the window. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So we don't have magic. It says in the game. We don't really have a choice. It's in the plot of the game. We don't have any magic whatsoever. And that's the reason why we are I think that's the reason why we are in this like cart. We're traveling towards what they call the spire. This spire where the wayfarers, I think they live there or whatever. I don't know. That's their office or something their base. That's their It's called the spire. We are going there. We are on the journey to go there. We don't have a very good backstory. Our family rejects us, and we have a companion which we don't really know much. His name is Aaron, I think. I already forgot the name because I'm so bad with the names. And is the driver of our cart is a dwarf. Name is Senric, I think. I'm opening my VTuber model and I can't find it. Are you following? Are you following? Because I'm not really good at explaining. So yeah. So basically we're human. Don't have a good back I mean we don't have a good history with our life. Uh People reject us because we don't have magic. We we are taken by I mean we are on a journey. Uh this dwarf dude Senric took us and I already forgot. But yeah, he's leading us towards the spire. So we are in a journey to go to the spire where the wayfarers live, I think. And I think because the reason Senric took us is because we don't have magic and wayfarers don't have any magic. And we are also in this cart, we also have a companion, which we don't know much, whose name is Aaron, I think. Wait, let me open. I don't have it, I can't properly. Okay, there it is. Aaron. Aaron. He has. Okay, I remember this. It took me a while to go through the prologue because I want to process everything. Aaron has brown hair, blue eyes, pointy ears, uh, and that's. I think that's all we know about him. He doesn't. He also doesn't have magic powers. Same as me. So that's when we confirm that maybe it's because we don't have powers that we are going to the spire where the Wayfarers are located. And oh no, 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 you're never gonna see him because it's all text. This game doesn't have any visual or anything. It's all reading. We just choose stuff and it will affect the game, I think. Okay, it's raining so I can't hear properly. Let me turn up. And I can't even hear myself. So that's that. And now on our journey, 2 guards stopped us on our way. 2 guards. Already forgot the name, but it will pop up soon after I make this. And they stopped us from going forward and asked us for a pass, but our Senric, our driver, dwarf driver, did was surprised that because this is the first time he heard about needing a pass, and it's not he lived for 400 years, I think, and that's the first time he've been asked for a pass. Like, yeah. And after that, he taunts them and like threatens them. And we found out that no. They are actual guards because they have these insignias or something. And I think they are just like ignorant guards because that's what Sandrick says, because I think they are just placed there for no reason or something. I don't know like the backstory behind that, but I think there's no reason for them to be there and was just ordered to be there for some reason. I don't know. Because this event did, like, if we think about it, Senric has been around for 400 years, and this is the first time this happened, that he was blocked. Yeah. And also, after that, a monster appears. I already forget the monster. A monster appears, and Sendrick tries to defend us or whatever. It attacked us, so Sendrick obviously will fight the monster. And the 4 of us, the 2 guards, us the player, and Aaron, yeah, we flew. We hide because we can't really do anything except Sendrick. Sendrick is a Wayfarer, so he has the capabilities to fight the monster. And now we are in this situation where we have a choice to fight the monster or do anything else. And here we are. Let us read the choices. You clutch the hilt of your dagger, your thoughts spinning. An idea is forming in your mind. Well, several ideas if you're being honest, and all of them are various shades of bad. Or choice number 1. Help Senric attack the monster, and we will gain 1 strength. I don't think this is you have a dagger. While you may be untrained, you're sure you have the strength to do enough damage to help him land a killing blow. Okay, so you can see Oh wait, sorry, sorry. Okay, okay, here. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. I've been talking, but I'm so sorry. This is our choice. So number one, we can help Senric attack the monster and we will gain one strength. Uh, okay. Based on my origin, like the origin I chose earlier, we don't have the ability to use any weapons. I mean, we don't have the mastery to use weapons. And also we don't have strength to even fight. You only know how to persuade and I don't know, do stuff. Persuade and be perceptive. We can use ourselves to distract the monster. We are fast, it says. Wait, hold on, I'll save. I don't really know how to save this. You don't know, you don't have much, but you're quick, you're fast. If you lure the monster away, you could give Senric enough time to strike. Use the environment to strike the monster. We will gain one perception. You may be ill-equipped to fight a monster, but that doesn't mean you can help. Looking around for the clearing for something, anything, you can use to make a distraction. You notice the banner on the other side of the broken barricades. It is directly in line with the Fanarl. Fanarl is the name of the monster, by the way. The name of the monster, yeah. One solid push and it will come tumbling down. Convince Marcella and Biran to help. +1 persuasion. The sentries are armed. So is Aaron. If the four of you banded together and attacked, maybe you should help Senric kill the Fenarl. 5 against 1 are much better odds than against 1. You are suggesting that we help Senric, but based on our origin, I think that will only lead to death. Are you sure we're going to choose this? Because let me remind, we have 0 strength, 0 agility, 1 perception, and 1 persuasion. Well, we have the dagger, but we don't really have any experience using the dagger. The dagger, by the way, was given to us by Senric. We have 0 strength, 0 agility, 1 perception, and 1 persuasion. Well, we can... maybe it's not... Yeah, you're right. We can gain strength, which might become an advantage. But do we really want to be jack of all trades and like have one stat of everything? Let's you're sure about this? Like, what if we maxed out our perception and we will just notice everything? If we do this, we will gain 1 strength. So we'll have 1 strength, 1 perception, and 1 persuasion. Like a glass cannon. Then we should have chose a different origin earlier if we wanted to be a glass cannon. You should have been here when we chose the origin. Because I feel like if we choose this, well, our skill will become unbalanced. I mean, our character will become unbalanced and will have no mastery over anything. Okay, okay. I've already saved the game. Let's choose to attack the monster. And I think this will lead to a bad ending. But who knows? Maybe it will become good. You grip your dagger and push yourself forward through the snow. Aaron grabs your wrist. What are you doing? He exclaims. Helping. You tear free from his grasp and stumble back towards the clearing. Marcella and Durand yell at you to come back to the trees, but you plunge forward undeterred, too afraid to leave the protection of the trees. You can't do anything. They can't do anything to stop you. The cold wind bites at your cheeks as you wade through the snow, keeping to the shadows as you circle around behind the fanarl. Senric holds his ground in the center, the clearing. He dodges in to strike, but the fanarl is too fast. It slides backwards over the trampled snow, and Sandrik's sword comes up short, striking nothing but air. The fanarl hisses and leers, blue gunk oozing over its teeth and dripping onto the bloodied snow. Its tail lashes around, and Senrik ducks, throwing himself to the side. I already forgot what it says. I was I was out of my mind. So la 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 la. No, da. Shadows and like they were just fighting. He grunts, wheezing, and turns back to the creature. The exertion is wearing him down. You reach the far side of the clearing. The creature spits on Senric's face. Yikes. What if we get gunked? We don't have any resistance to poison, by the way. I chose a human character. We don't have that. We don't have any resistance. Blue gunk sprays over his face and chest, clinging to his cloak and armor. Senric falls backward, unable to see, desperately wiping at his eyes with one hand. The fanar lowers itself to the ground, preparing to pounce. You strike. Hurtling through the air, you charge at the fanar and leap onto its back, stabbing recklessly with your dagger. Blood streams from the gashes in its back, black against the white of its fur. The creature howls, its tail curls up straight, hovering over its body, and lashes downwards. But it is unable to reach you. It shakes itself violently, trying to throw you from its back. You drop your dagger and cling to its matted fur, holding on for dear life as it throws itself around the clearing, bucking wildly. You lock eyes with Senric as the fanar lurches around the clearing. Sorry, my bad. Why? Why are you apologizing? I don't understand. He stares at you, eyes wide, mouth slightly agape, face shining brightly with smears of blue gunk. The fanar pulls up short and twists back and forth. You hold on as tight as you can and squeeze your eyes shut as you jerked from side to side. You feel like you're about to throw up. Wait, what's going on? I'm already lost. No, 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 no. You like action pronunciation and shares to open wide, no, no, no. Fanar pulls short, back and forth, twist. You lose your grip. The fanar shakes you free. You fly through the air, hitting the ground and rolling through the snow. You open your eyes, dazed, and stare at the sky, seeing nothing but streaks of bright luminous green. You can hear the fanar whimpering and hissing as it paces back and forth. A face looms over you. Senrix. You blink. Hi, you say. That was pretty stupid. Aeon. Cedric says. Brave, but stupid. Come on, let's get you up. He puts an arm up. He puts an arm around your shoulder and helps you to your feet. You retreat behind the smashed remains of the cart. You sit down in the snow, your head still spinning, eyes closed, and you catch your breath. Senric peers out from behind the cart. What is it doing, you ask, licking its wound, Senric says, and staring at our hidey hole. Okay. I don't know if you're meant to do this, but I think you made it angry. You laugh and groan, holding your head in your hands. Cendric puts a hand on your shoulder. Hey kid, he says. I know you wanted to help, thanks. Your head slowly stops spinning. You cautiously open your eyes. Cendric crouches nearby, the shadow of a smile on his grizzled face. His armor and cloak are battered. The Fanarl's venom has burned through the furs. In places through Cendric himself is fine. So what do we do now? You ask. Now? Cendric shrugs and straightens up, drawing his sword. Now I go and piss it off even more. Can I help? He shakes his head. You best keep back for this one, kid. A dark figure shuffles through the snow, and a moment later, Aaron appears. Dropping down next to you, Marcella and Durand are gone. He pants. They went to Trust to get help. Cendric frowns. Who? The sentries? Yeah. He sighs wearily and shakes his head. Well, better than having them underfoot here. Cendric pauses, eyeing you and Aaron. Keep an eye for each other, he says, passing you your dagger. You must have grabbed it after you dropped it. And get to the lodge. I want you barricaded in there if things take a turn for the worst. Honarls cannot outrun you and track your scent. The silence was too loud. What do you mean? What's going on? Am I muted? Fanarls can outrun you and track a scent over several leagues, and so it's pointless to run. Better for it to lose interest. By the way, if it gets confusing, you can ask. Was I? I'm not sure. It's, I mean, I have a background noise in the background. Like, this game doesn't have any music, so I just played non-copyrighted sound in from YouTube. Just so I can, I can hear something because it's too boring. I chose this because it's winter right now, so I found a music which has windy sound. And it's nighttime, so I played night noises. You get the idea. Cannot run your truck send the scent over several leagues, so it's pointless to run. Better for it to lose interest. Aaron nods. The wounded Fanarl howls. Cendric smiles and steps around the side of the cart. Looking a little ugly there, eh? Ugly? Okay. Aaron. So Aaron is our companion, which we met in the cart. So we're not really companion, we're just, just happen to be in the same cart. With your heart pounding in your chest, you run for the lodge. Aaron runs alongside you. Okay, I think the strength, the health choice wasn't too bad. I think you got it right. We didn't die. Aaron runs alongside you, though you're pretty sure he could outrun you if he wanted to. He keeps pace with you. You're several feet from the lodge when you glance over your shoulder. Cendric is kneeling on the ground, winded, blood coating his sword. The Fanarl, drawn by your movement, is staring right at you. He snarls and leers and begins to paw its way through the snow towards the lodge. I have to read it again because you know my he probably died and wouldn't call for help. Uh yeah, maybe if we persuaded the guard, uh we'll be friends with the guard. We don't really have a good relationship with the guard and we already have a one persuasion stat, so maybe that will help us gain even more persuasion stat and also help us become closer with the guard and be friends with them. You know? Just stuff we could that could have happened, but you know that's the fun. That's the fun of it. That's the fun of interactive fiction. But they might get killed by the fanarl. Yeah, you're right. Who knows what could have happened? We don't know really. Acid breath. Yeah. Wow, you really caught up to this story. To the story. You. Wow. Uh, Fear strikes your heart and you sprint for the lodge, yanking the door open. You and Aaron slip through and slam the door shut together. Aaron lets out a nervous laugh and sinks to the floor, his head between his hands. You sit beside him, breathing heavily. Come on, you say, elbowing Aaron in the side. We can't just sit here, Senrik said to barricade the door. This is I don't know what this is, Aaron mutters. There's a monster that wants to kill and maybe eat us. You run off to go fight it anyway, and now we're trapped in the house, and the only thing between us and the giant venomous monster that wants to kill us and maybe eat us is one Wayfarer. You push yourself up and peer through the windows. Tenrik fights the Fanarl, but he doesn't seem any closer to killing it than before. What if he can't kill it? What if don't think about that. You sit down, pushing your back against the wall. As you look around the lodge, its single, threadbare room divided into sections, one for cooking, one for recreation, one for bathing. It's a single threadbare room divided into sections. So just one whole room with different sections. I see. One wall is taken up by a large unlit hearth. I don't know how to pronounce that. Hearth. A ladder in the far corner leads up to Threadbare. What's a Threadbare? A ladder in the far corner leads up to an attic. A tattered rug that has long since lost its original color covers the floor beneath the table. A couple of chairs and a worn couch. Personal items that are strewn across the room. Unwashed clothing, worn boots, a few books. Dirty dishes are piled up by the hearth. Conjured lights hang in brackets around the room, illuminating it with a cold. You know what's... I have an idea. We can ask AI to generate an image of the lodge. Let's see what it will come up with. Generate an image of inside a lodge. Okay, I'm just gonna send everything. By the way, based on the AI generated stuff, the the fanarl looks like this. Based on the based on AI, the Fanar looks like this. Looks like this. Or 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 this. This is only based on AI. Or this. That's the best one I can find. Or this. Or this. Yeah. That's that. Okay. Our image of the cabin is still generating, so let's continue. It looks pretty close from what I imagined. Oh. Yeah, it has antlers. It looks like a cat and it has antlers. The only thing that I didn't really put in the prompt is that it has blue gunk on his jaws, and I don't really know how to imagine that blue gunk. But it's black as it's standing. It described the monster as that it has white fur. I think. Yeah, it has white fur. Senrik said to barricade yourself in there, but you're winded and sore from your fight. Maybe there's other way to keep yourself safe. Yeah. Okay, we finally see the consequences of our actions. We are now winded and sore from our fight because we chose to fight. Hey, I don't think we should leave the lodge. We are winded and sore from our fight. I think that's very... Climb the ladder to the attic. If Senrik dies, we won't get... You're right. But... I believe in Senrik. Can help us. Can fight off the thing. Okay, number 1, climb the ladder to the attic. We will gain agility. You could climb up the attic, hide. Ignore Senrik's advice and leave the lodge. He has no armor left. Maybe hiding here. Well, he has immunity to poison, so he should be alright. Because he's a dwarf. But from choosing, I was choosing a class. I mean, a race earlier, and dwarves have resistance to poison. So, despite what Senrik said, if Senrik can't kill it, it will come after you. You'd rather make your stand here than hide and wait to be eaten. Aaron will take some persuading though. Okay. We can do this because we already have persuasion. That. Follow Senrik's advice and barricade the door, and we will gain 1 strength. It doesn't matter how sore and tired you are. Get yourself together and make a barricade. But is he resistant to head getting chopped off? Well, well, eh, yeah. Follow Sandrik's advice and barricade the door. Doesn't matter how sore and tired you are, get yourself together and make a barricade. Look around for an alternative. There may be something here that you missed. Calm yourself down and take another look. We have 1 perception, by the way. Maybe we can use that for this alternative route. Let's save, by the way. We already have one strength, but we don't have the strength. Right now, we are tired to do the barricade thing. However, we could do look around for an alternative, but that's very RNG. That's random. We either see something or, you know, not see anything and die. We have one perception, but maybe it will need two perception. And we already chose strength earlier. So, uh, help Senric. We don't really have the choice to help Senric, by the way. We don't have the choice to help Senric. The monster might still destroy the barricade. You're right, but you know, Cedric is an expert. Maybe he's right. Maybe we can just wait for it to go away. After, it said earlier that even if we run, it will still follow us for the rest of our lives and we die. Wait, I think this one, leave the lodge, it means to run, I think. Maybe hiding here isn't right. Despite what Senric, if Senric can't kill it, it will come after you. You'd rather make you stand here than hide and wait to be eaten. Aaron will take some persuading though. Okay, I'll choose. I'm not sure. Should we choose to? Like Senric says. Okay, you were right. I mean, I think every choices earlier didn't really matter. Just improved our stat. But okay, do we have the right stat to even fight the thing? We don't have agility. What if we die? What if we die? We only have strength and we are already winded and sore from our fight. If we continue... Yeah, I saved. But sometimes it does things where it still continues the story, but there are permanent consequences to our actions. Okay, let's ignore Cendric's advice and leave the lodge. We already have one persuasion. I think we can persuade Aaron. I think. But, who knows? Maybe it needs two persuasion and we already have one. Go! Do this. You mutter and draw your dagger. The blade glints in the cold night. You stare at it, mulling over your decision. You want to do this? The Fanark will kill you. The Fanark will kill you, even if you stay hidden. You reach for the door. Aaron grabs your arm. Senric said... I know what Senric said, you interrupt. I would rather lose a limb than a companion. Yeah. But what if our companion is an expert? Our companion is a wayfarer. Maybe he's strong. Maybe he has secret. He has hidden powers. Still not showing us. You know? Maybe it's just going easy on it. Maybe we are just, being a distraction to them. We are just making it harder for him to fight. I don't want to. I can't wait here while he's out there fighting that thing. So you're what? Going to run away? Going to... Fall silent as he looks at the dagger in your hand. Are you sure that's a good idea? No, you reply. But it's what I'm going to do. Aaron nods. Okay, we have persuasion, so he agrees with us. Are you coming? He sighs and draws his own dagger. I guess so. You smile. Thanks. He frowns, confused. For what? For putting up with my really bad ideas, you reply. He laughs. Isn't that what friends for? Okay, we're friends now? Well, you push the door open and step out into the cold. You stay low, keeping to the shadows as you make your way back to the clearing. You don't have a plan. You don't even have the beginnings of one. You're shaking. Wait a minute. Okay, the AI didn't really capture what I had in mind, so I'm not gonna show it. The AI image generator did not capture what I had in mind. You're shaking with fear and anticipation. Part of you feels like laughing. The others are like crying. But you're committed. There's no going back now. Imagine if more monsters come. Oh, maybe Cedric is destined to die in this story. I don't know. And if we continue forward, we just die as well. Cedric skids through the snow, sidestepping the fanarl as it claws at him. Its claws catch his cloak and rip through the furs, tearing it tearing it from his shoulders. He pulls free, unfazed that the creature nearly gored him, and turns, slashing at its sides. His sword strikes deep, cutting through the fur and flesh, spraying the snow with dark blood. The fanarl howls in pain and hisses furiously, its tail swinging back and forth. Without warning, it pounces and catches Cendric between its claws. He drops his sword from the impact as it pins him to the ground and bares its teeth, ready to tear his throat out. Okay, okay, I think you're right. I think Cendric didn't have a chance against the monster. hmm You scream. No words, just one long, loud, continuous shriek, and run at the fanarl. It turns its head at the commotion, but you're already hurling through the snow. You run into it with great impact and plunge your dagger. I guess he wasn't resistant to and getting chomped. You're right. Okay, I admit I was wrong right there. I thought Cedric was strong. I had no idea. You know, I thought Wayfarers are strong because it's the title of the game, so I assume they are very OP. But I guess not. Plancha, you stab very ferociously and wildly, tearing through fur and flesh. Pinned between the snow and the creature's claws, Cendric stares at you in horror. What the heck do you think you're doing? He yells as he struggles against the claw to no avail. The Fanarl hisses and releases him, spitting venom in every direction as it spins in a circle and swats at you. Aaron pulls you down, narrowly avoiding its claws. Cendric struggles to his feet, his sword arm hanging limply against his side. He grabs his sword with his left hand. Get back to the lodge, he shouts. You stagger your feet and grip the hilt of your dagger. The Fenarl snaps at you. You leap back and trip. A 3-6 dude versus an 8-11 monster. I don't get the reference. Can you explain? But he's a dwarf. Yeah, he's a dwarf. He's resistant to poison. And getting drunk. Dwarves doesn't get drunk or doesn't get easily drunk. But we are not resistant to venom. Oh, height. Okay, I see. You hear Aaron yelling. He seems so far away. You blink. Aaron slams into the creature's side. plunges his dagger into its eye. The Fonarl unleashes an uncanny he withdraws the dagger and skids through the snow towards you. The creature howls and thrashes back and forth. He narrowly avoids a crushing blow from its tail and grabs you, dragging you away from the clearing with all his might. As he collapses into the snow beside you, a light flashes before your eyes. Wait, what happened? Aaron, yeah, attacks. Uh, Probably closes and thrashes. I don't know. He narrowly avoids. Okay, Google. What's thrash? Not trash. Thrash. Beat. Move in violent and convulsive way. Okay. Dragging you away from the clearing with all his might. As he collapses into the snow beside you, a bright light flashes before your eyes. I think this, the, yeah, I think you got the right choice. You chose the right choice, Toxic. I think you were right about going outside and helping Centric fight. He could have died there. I think we didn't help. You watch, eyes wide, breathe heavily in your lungs as a flaming arrow pierces the darkness and lodges itself deep into Fanarl's left shoulder. The creature throws its head back and lets out an ear-shattering howl. Its claws sinking into the snow, its tail curled high. The creature snarls, shaking its head back and forth. A second flaming arrow hits the creature in its right shoulder. The Fanarl grunts, unleashing a pitiful howl. An elven woman enters enters the clearing, dressed in heavy furs and armor. Her hood is down, and her long red gold hair streams over her shoulders. A quiver rests at her tips, and she holds gleaming white bow. She must be a wayfarer. Okay, let me get this. I think the choices in the prologue doesn't really end in a bad ending because I think it it just builds up our stat so we can have a proper build. And even if we chose to go upstairs, I think Tenric still wouldn't die because this Wayfarer will still come and help him. So I guess it was just to help us build stats, and right now, based on our stats, we have one strength, two persuasion, and one perception. So that's that. I'm not very confident with our build right now. We have two persuasion. What are we gonna use for that? And we have one strength. I think that's not enough to do anything. And we have one perception that will help us probably. I don't know. We don't have agility yet. In one swift, seamless, yeah. I think persuasion will help us build connections and all that. Make friends. In one swift. I like perception better because sometimes in these games when you have greater perception, you can avoid situation. You can avoid many situation where it could end badly. You can avoid like fighting and all that. Maybe it will help us, help us. something can help us. Yeah, with strength we can survive anything. But you know, maybe we'll find allies that can that can do that stuff for us. Who knows? We already have Cendric here. I feel like perception. There are some stuff that can't be seen if we don't have enough perception. You know, overlooked. We can overlook stuff. Sometimes it omits description. We don't have if we don't have enough perception. With perception, we can convince everyone. With strength, yeah, it can help us fight. Maybe there will come a situation where we are alone, and you know those other stats can't really help us. Thought you had a better aim than that, Varen. A husky voice calls. So the woman is Varen. The Fanarl lowers its head, charges at the woman. She gracefully leaps to the side. The Fanarl rushes past her, burying its antlers in a snowbank. Yeah, yeah. You can be something like a coach for your this chat heart thing is blocking the chat, telling them that danger coming at them with perception. Yeah. Hey, I mean perception doesn't really predict the future. It just gives us more ideas about the situation and make better choices for ourselves, you know. You don't know what I'm aiming at, Zero. Zero is the second person who was shouting with husky voice. Barin is the woman with a bow, and Zero is the other voice. Her voice is cool and light with a refined accent. Shh. A figure in a black cloak drops out of a tree and lands squarely on the Fanarl's back. They unsheath a gleaming white dagger. Another wayfarer? The figure wastes no time and plunges into the Fanarl's remaining eye. Blood splatters across the creature's face, and it bucks wildly, throwing the figure off. They roll through the snow, tangled in their cloak, and bounce back onto their feet and drop into a defensive position. Okay, I'm already lost. Who's the person in black cloak? The elf with red gold hair. Okay, is Varen. Who's the person with the black cloak? They unsheath a gleaming white dagger. Another wafer. The figure wastes no time and plunges it into the Fanarl's remaining eye. Blood splatters across the creature's face and it bucks wildly, throwing the figure off. They roll through the snow, tangled in their cloak, and bounce back onto their feet and drop into a defensive position, completely unruffled. The Fanarl drops low, howling and whining as it paces back and forth, blood dripping down its face. Continue. I see you've been taking your own sweet time with this thing, Senric. Zero says. Zero is the black cloak guy? I mean person? Not really sure. They use the they them pronouns, so. And Varen is the elf lady with red gold hair. Senric appears at the edge of the clearing with his sword arm still hanging limp. Good to see you too, he grunts. Where are the recruits hiding? You're looking pretty rough, old man. Need some help? We are not hiding. I think this was an error. We were not hiding. Were we? Cendric barks a laugh. Should have asked earlier if you wanted to be polite. It's the thought that counts, Zero replies, shrugging. The Fanarl's tail lashes around. Cendric, Zero, and Varin duck. Varin sighs wearily and strings another arrow. If the two of you could deign to focus for once in your life, she grunts and lets the arrow fly. The Fanarl howls as the arrow strikes deep into its flesh. It hobbles right and left, its head hanging low, blood seeping through its fur. Varin's arrows stick out from its sides like a porcupine's quills. Quills. It's almost down, Zero yells, drawing a second blade. Senric, can you fight? Senric snorts. You even need to ask that question? Down! Varin shouts. The tail swings around again. They duck, avoiding its sweeping attack. The Fanarl snarls, turning from Senric to Varin to Zero and back again. It settles on Zero and lowers its head. Antlers pointed at them. It charges. Senric! Varin yells, throwing another arrow. Help them! Senric scuffles through the snow and shoves Zero out of the way. The Fanarl charges by and collides with the remains of the cart, its antlers caught in the wood. Varin strings an arrow. Zero raises a dagger, preparing to throw. The Fanarl and the cart explode in a shower of flames. Senric, Varin, and Zero step back, hands raised to protect their faces from the light. The flames die as quickly as they disappeared, leaving behind nothing but charred wood and a sea of ash. The snow has melted in a circle, creating a muddy pool. The Fanarl's corpse lies, curled in the middle, burned to the bone. Why did that explode? I'm lost. The Fanarl. You should probably just scroll slowly, because if you want to post this, you can narrate it later. Probably should scroll like this? I mean like like that? I'm not sure if I can read like that. I have a certain way of reading. A little faster. There. I can't really read that fast. Looks like a Star Wars opening. Yeah. Okay. What's going on? Okay. Okay, case in point. The monster is dead. Go. I suppose things are in order. An elven man sweeps into the clearing, flanked by a dozen people. Flanked, huh? An elven man sweeps into the clearing, flanked by a half dozen people. He is tall and dressed in intricately embroidered. So there's another person here. Intricately embroidered robes of white, red, and gray. No furs, no hat, no cloak. So he's just wearing a robe. Oh no, wait. He's tall. Yeah. So basically, he just looks like he's just came out of from a bath or something. That's what I imagine, at least. He doesn't look prepared for the winter weather, and yet he doesn't shy away from the cold. His blonde hair and beard are elegantly styled. There is an elevated confidence about him that makes Senric, Zero, and Varin seem like common thugs in comparison. So we have a person here that has magic, I think. They're not happy to see him. Cedric, Zero, and Varin are from the, the Wayfarers group. And we know that the Wayfarers don't really have magic. So I guess, no, people with magic are just inherently stronger than them, I think. Maybe. They are not happy to see them. The frost marks are dangerous these days, he continues, his level gaze observing them each in turn. The Wayfarer's Grand Master, Archivist, and Ambassador gathered in the same place. I would... Oh. I would hate to think that... I would hate to think what would have happened had the three of you fallen to this beast. You're fortunate I was here. Yikes. Kirinus. Sanric grunts. Fancy seeing you here. Artanis is a little far from Velantis from you, don't you think? So, we have a magic person mage, wizard thing person here, named Kirinus. So I guess Kirinus lives from Artanis. But we are in Velantis. I don't really remember where we are right now, but I think we are in Velantis or somewhere near Velantis. His smile only widens. My work brings me to all manner of unique places beyond the interest of my peers. In honor of this auspicious moment, I'll ignore that poor attempt at insulting my character. Though I've come to expect nothing less from you, Rindan. Rindan is Senric. Oh, trust me. If I wanted to insult you, you'd know what auspicious moment would this be, Baron interrupts. Baron, the red gold-haired elf lady. Uranus spreads his hands. Why? 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 Fighting together to defeat a common enemy, of course, he says. It's not every day that the Guild of Mages and the Wayfarer Order fight side by side. So, mages, yeah, I was right. He's a mage. So, Guild of Mages, of course, a Guild of Mages. They are a guild full of mages. Elf, gold hair, white. What now? Varen, the bow lady, the person from the Wayfarer person who helped us fight the monster earlier with a bow. She has a, according to the thing, lady, not baby. Oh, lady, not baby. Lady, person, girl. I said lady. I'm not sure about the delay. But yeah, it's lady. Lady, L, with the L, not P. Wayfarer Order, a group of people with no magic powers. I don't know their purpose, but I think they fight Guild of Mages as well. Except they have magic. Zero dissolves into loud, what's Raukos? Okay, Google. What's Raukos? That's not the spelling I wanted. Raucous. Making or constituting a disturbingly harsh and loud noise. So loud, that's like repetitive. Loud and raucous, basically the same things, but it's disturbingly harsh. They lean forward, hands on their stomach, making it shaking with mirth. What's mirth? Okay, Google. What's mirth? That's not what I meant. Mirth. Amusement. Zero is the non-binary person with a black cloak. Okay. Uses they. That's gonna be confusing for me. You gingerly get to your feet and brush the snow from your back and rear. Your heart is pounding and you can't seem to stop shaking. But the Fanarl is dead. You should regroup with Senric. You have a feeling you're going to get an earful later. He glance at Aaron. Let's go. He nods. Together you trudge through the snow to the clearing, listening to the adults' conversation as you draw closer. Look closer. By the way, we are children here. Says the thing. I forgot to mention that. They mentioned we are children in quotation marks. So I mean in italics. So I'm not sure how young we are. They just mentioned we are children. The guards mentioned that we are children. So I'm not really sure if we have the capabilities to fight, but I guess based on that earlier events, we kinda have. How old are we? They didn't mention that, and that's kinda messing with my head. Maybe we are young, but not too young. I don't know. You have an interesting definition of fighting side by side, Cedric says, considering the Fanarl was on its last legs by the time you got here. Well, I suppose we must all play our part. He kneels next to the Fanarl's corpse, inspecting it with interest. I have searched long and far for a specimen as interesting as this, the mage says. I presume you will take no offense if I relieve you of it? Zero stops laughing. Relieve you of? What the heck does that mean? He wants to take the corpse, Varin answers. Yeah, I get that. I want to know why. He might be an arc sage now, but he is still a researcher. All guild mages must prove they deserve their rank, no matter how talented they are. Tyrenius chuckles. So, you do think I am talented, Lady Varen? What a what a fascinating change of pace. No titles, she says sharply, a deadly look shining in her eyes. Cheeks flushed red from the cold. I am a Wayfarer master before I am anything else. A matter of pride? Or do you simply wish to refute any aristocratic ties that you may still hold? It is not in your nature to inquire after my personal matters, Sabian. Wait, who is Sabian? I am a matter of pride, or do you simply wish to refute any aristocratic ties you may still hold? So Varen may have aristocratic ties based on this. And I don't know who is speaking right now. Maybe it's, so Sabian is this, I think. It is not mine to answer. Do what you want with the fanarl. It who is what's the name of the mage again? I already forgot. I'm so bad with names. We only care that it's dead. It doesn't matter what happens after. He smiles. Okay, Kirinus. The name is Kirinus. I don't know who Sabine is. Maybe it's the one is a person with I mean person along Kirinus who went there. Rises to his feet. Thank you. I'll remember this gesture. You sneeze. Kirinus looks across the clearing, his elven eyes undeterred by the darkness. He raised his chin. Visitors? He asks. Tenrik glances at you, and Aaron, at the edge of the clearing. Apprentices, he says. Ah. Kirinus' expression darkens. Oh no, oh no. I think this is bad. I was under the impression the order had ceased recruitment. The streets of Erenvor and Villantis, Modena and the Sanctum, and even tall Cover whisper there is no more need for wayfarers, that your order is dying and soon it will be obsolete. Is this a final attempt to pass on your teaching? So the wayfarers are expected to no longer recruit anyone, but they are now recruiting us because we don't have any magic powers. Those unfortunate enough to be born without magic are always welcome within our walls, says coolly. Zero says coolly. Fortunate? He raises a pale eyebrow. To live beyond the natural boundaries of this world, separated from the blessing of the gods. I can only imagine it as a horrific case of misfortune. I think the wayfarers are the good guys. But hear me out. The people with no magic are heavily discriminated against. That's why we have a very bad history, bad family, bad background, bad origin. Since we don't have any magic, people don't really give us the things that we need. They don't really respect us. Wayfarers, I feel like the wayfarers are the only hope for these people with no magic. Like they are the only ones that protect them against discrimination. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, Kirinus, I think the mages, they are the racist people. They are the ones that are they have this superiority complex, and they look down on the no magic people. That's why I think that the mages are the bad guys, or at least Uranus is a bad guy, and the order of the wayfarers are helping us. Wayfarers are helping those people with no magic have a place where they can be with people with no magic as well and fight for their rights. That's what I'm getting at. That's my theory. They look Tenrik snorts. Zero's mouth twitches. They look as though they are one comment away from laughing convulsively or stabbing Kirinus with a dagger. Baron remains stone-faced. Yeah, I think this mages have this superiority complex because they look down, they they talk to them like they are below them, like the people with no magic are below them, and that they are can only imagine people them as a horror people like them as a horrific case of misfortune. They don't see it as a good thing that there are people who has no magic. To you perhaps, she replies, but for those who have never known magic, it is simply a state of being. And what if you could change that state of being? Uranus continues. Give yourself a chance at a normal life. Or have you lived too many decades with too much pride? Senric grunts, seething beneath the snow and blood caked on his face. You wonder how much longer Quirinus can talk before he punches him. Baron must sense the same thing. She discreetly steps beside him and puts a calm but restraining hand on his shoulder. Hypotheticals are of no use to us, Baron replies. Might haves, could haves are poor tools when the present moment is all that matters. What do you think? What do the children think? Ernest says. Hold on, hold on. We are already streaming for 3 hours. Okay. I can't see the messages. Gesturing in your direction. These poor souls you've dragged into the southern abyss, perhaps against their will. What are we going to do? Should we say that's not true or should we stay silent? I can't see the chat. Hold on. Let me refresh. Maybe my internet is lost. Hopefully not forever. I can't see the messages. It's bad. This is bad. The internet is... Can you hear me? Oh no. I'm having a bad connection, I think. I can't see the chat. Don't give him the body, he might be a necromancer. Who knows? I think not. I don't really know what kind of magic this world has, so I'm not sure. There's a necromancer. What's not true? Can't see the chat. Hello, hello, I can't see the chat. Oh no. I can see it now, but I'm not really sure if it's buffering. Hello, if you can hear me, type 1. Okay, okay, thank you. Oh no, my phone is not loading the chat. I'm using my phone to see that. Okay, okay, I think it's good now. What should we choose here? Should we stay silent or should we should we talk? The first option. Okay. Yeah. We followed him. We didn't really get forced to follow him. Mildly surprised that you have spoken. Irina stares at you, eyebrows raised. Mildly surprised that you have spoken. He drops his hand and quick smiles, quickly composing himself. Is it not? Then how, may I ask, did the Wayfarers find you? And when presented the offer to join the Grand Order, did you feel you had a choice? Well, his words feel like sharp pinpricks all over your body. Your gut twists. Your journey has been so long, it feels like years have passed since you left home. Somehow, you know, even if the circumstances of your departure had been different, you would have ended up here nonetheless. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if we don't have any choice or whatever, we don't, yeah, we don't, yeah, doesn't matter because we don't have a choice anyway. We already experience the discrimination because we don't have magic powers. I think the Wayfarers is the only way to go. So I choose the does it matter option? Should I choose number one now? We've been streaming for 3 hours. Wow. I feel like this is the longest stream I had. Do it. Okay, doesn't matter. You raise your chin. We're here now, aren't we? You continued. Besides, it's not like you know us or what we left behind. Uranus eyes you and frowns, his lips drawing into a thin line. True, he says. Yeah, we are still in the prologue for 3 hours. Yikes. You know, I'm a slow reader, and I really want to get to know the stuff here. You know, I had played an interactive fiction before, and it was bad because I was just rushing through the text, and I didn't really take the time to process everything, and it ended up being bad because there was no, like, it didn't trigger my brain or anything. It didn't stuff some of most of the stuff I read I already forgotten because you know I didn't really took the time to process. It was just a temporary thing in my head, and the next day, know, you will forget everything. At least that the interactive fiction I played before was on my phone, and it uses very simple grammar, and that's what I like about it because I don't have a very wide vocabulary. I'm gonna be honest, and that game was so simple in grammar that it can be easily understood. That's why I could just read it very fast, like a Wattpad story or whatever. Oh no, we're lagging. Yes, it's healthy in my end. Hello, hello. Am I? Are you? Is it on your end or my end? Help. By the way, if you want to, you know, if you want to be getting not undelayed, you want less delay, you can just speed up the video, speed it up to times 2, so you can catch up to the actual live scene. I mean, yeah, that will make sure that you are Actually, you are actually live. You're actually watching live and not like 5 seconds delay. I even put the stream on ultra low latency just so I won't have any delay. I hope you're still there. Just tell me if you're back. I do not, nor should I care to. You are but another inconsequential being in the horde of insignificant people whose destinies will amount to nothing greater than to live and to die. Yeah, they look down on us. Your blood boils at the insult. You're reminded of all the people who looked down on you for your lack of magic, who claimed a life without magic was no life at all. You grind your teeth and glare at the mage as a gust of air swirls snow around you. You barely realize you're shivering from the cold. Beside you, Aaron clenches his jaw, biting back whatever insult has come bubbling up. He kicks the snow, his boot chipping away to the mud beneath. We are angry right now. Okay, so what should we do right now? I don't think we should continue being angry. We won't. We we don't want any fight. Should we say whatever? I feel like we should say whatever. Or should we stay angry? I feel like staying angry doesn't really do much for us. Yeah, let's say whatever. You fold your arms and look away. You feel childish. It is childish. But the last thing you want is to continue talking with this man. Quirinus eyes you. I wonder, he says. Is impudence a requirement for all your apprentices? Here I thought it was a learned trait. He clasped his hand in front of him. I commend you, child. Aeon Intius. Okay, by the way, this is our name. Finish the game in prologue. Okay, okay. Uh, it, it was very late for me to realize that this was a bad name because it uses the same first letter as our companion, Aaron. And now we are Aeon, and it's gonna get confusing. We are Aeon Intius. It has recommended names, so I just chose Aeon because I didn't really like the first one, so I chose the second one, Aeon. Intius, that was a default one, so I just go went with it. You are not to be called a child, Intius. Quirinus says. Ah, yes. The noble house Intius of the Vodena elite. I have visited your grandparents' summer estate many times. I knew they had a child kept hidden from prying eyes. You must be him, he smiles. I commend you for your bravery. Not many would dare to insult me so openly. It is refreshing. You grunt. If he thinks that was an insult, leave the kid alone, Quirinus. Henrik warns. His hand rests on the hilt of his sword. The gesture does not go unnoticed. Quirinus does not react, though his silent retainers, all mages you assume, steer restlessly, eyeing Senric carefully. Hold on. I'll try to finish the prologue. The gesture does not go unnoticed. Quirinus does not react. Though his silent retainers, all mages, you assume, peer restlessly, eyeing Cynric carefully. Varian steps calmly in front of him. I too must ask that you let us continue on our journey, she says. The road to the spire is long, and we do not have the same advantages as you. This interrogation of our apprentices is unwanted and unnecessary. But Brisa, this is a harmly conversation, is it not? Quirinus replies. Permit me to indulge myself for a brief moment. Brief moment. Surely you can spare that. You have fought a difficult battle, and you must need some time to recover your strength, correct? Darren mouth twitches. Call it a curiosity, he continues smoothly. I so rarely meet your recruits before they are inducted into your order. He looks you up and down. He can't shake the feeling that he is scrutinizing everything about you, from the way you stand to your second-hand cloak. Tell me, Indius, were you scared when the Fanarl attacked? No, we were not scared. We literally went head on and fought the Fanarl. We didn't hide. We didn't even hide. So I think it makes sense that we say no in this case. We were fearless back there. I mean, you were, but I wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm not very brave. You're right. I admit. You straighten your back and set your jaws and spit your answer out quickly. You refuse to be intimidated by this man. I see. Kirna says. His expression is unreadable. Then tell me, Intius, did you enjoy fighting this creature? Say yes? Yes to this? Do we like fighting? Are we sure we like fighting monsters? Say 3 if you want me to say yes. Are we establishing that we enjoy fighting? Choose 4. Okay, I'll choose 4. I also want to choose 4. I only wanted to make sure we survive. That's basically what you said earlier. Like, what if he dies if we don't go outside? Exhaustion tugs at your body, but you ignore it. The fight is a blur. You can barely remember your own actions. But you know that whatever you did, whatever action you took, you were trying to protect yourself and Aaron. Quirinus nods deeply. Then I must know, Intius, is this the path you would have chosen for yourself had you have been given the choice? Yeah, we chose. Yeah, we chose in in the person's perspective. What's our name again? I don't know. Aeon. We are brave. We chose the stuff even if it was reckless. I think we should choose yes. Type 3 if you agree. Type whatever number you think is the right answer. We're still at the prologue. 3, okay. You know one way or another, you would have ended up here. Doesn't matter if your circumstances had you been different. Turnus frowns, a crease forming between his eyebrows. Clearly, this is not the answer he was hoping for. Very well, he says. Whether by choice or not, you are to be a warrior. It is a dangerous path, one you should not tread lightly. What makes you think you can walk this path? You scowl. What kind of question is that? Feel like Curious is trying to trap you in an answer he can use against you. You decide to answer as bluntly as possible. Okay, what skills should we have? Just a reminder, we have 1 strength, 2 persuasion, and 1 perception. I mean, yeah, 1 perception. Do we need strength? I feel like we should use observant. Or we should choose a random skill. You really want strength, huh?